guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited because today I'm testing new Drugstore makeup. I always love when the Drugstore comes out with some new stuff. So I have almost a full face of new products. I have this Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, which I got in the shade Porcelain, I believe. And it says it has a sheer to medium coverage, but I'm sure it's more like tinted moisturizers are usually like sheer to light coverage. Yes, on the back it says it's porcelain. And I also got their new Mega Last Incognito concealer. It's supposed to be a full coverage concealer, so we'll see how that goes. I think I got this one in the shade Fair Beige. That's what I got that in. So I have those two for my face today. And then I picked up from the Drugstore, I got the new e.l.f. Mint collection. I have this Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer, which I'm assuming is just like their watermelon face primer, but just gonna have a cooling and minty smell to it. So it says it pretty much has the same claims as the watermelon face primer. So if you have the watermelon dew face primer, then you probably don't need this. I just wanted to pick it up to try it out and see if it's just like the watermelon one I have. So I do have the watermelon version of this. Hey. I also picked up one of the lip plumping glosses. I wish I would have gotten a different shade, because on the website this looked like it might have some sort of color to it, but it looks like a clear gloss. Now that I'm looking at it in person, it looks like a clear gloss. But I think this one was called Hint of Mint. Yeah, Hint of Mint. So this is the gloss I got, and I do love their new packaging where it just has the handles on it. They're using less packaging and trying to be more environmentally friendly with using less packaging. So I was very happy to see that from e.l.f. They're starting to do that with all of their products. They're transferring it over to being less packaging so they can be more environmentally friendly, which I like. I also have both of their bite-sized face palettes. Y'all know I was a really big fan of the other ones, so when I seen they came out with two mint versions, I had to get it. So this one's mint chocolate and this one is meant to be. I'm very excited to try these out. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which one appeals to me more, and I have to say maybe this one does. I love chocolate browns and chocolate mint ice cream, but I don't know if I like this one as good. I'm probably just going to try to use them both on my eyes today. I don't know if I'll do like one on one eye and one on the other, or if I'll just do the mixture on both of my eyes. That's probably what I'll end up doing, but I'm very excited about these today. I'm a little sad because my meant to be one, it came cracked. Nothing's broken, but the top came a little cracked, which is sad. I'll open them up so you can see them better with the packaging open. I have to say I have seen reviews on these so far, and they were not very good reviews, but here is what they look like. A lot of people are saying these browns are super patchy and that you can't see this mint color on your skin tone, but these were definitely not made for deeper skin tones, you can already tell. So I feel like this mint shade here would be really ashy, and they could probably wear these on deeper skin tones, but I don't feel like they're very deep skin tone friendly, if you know what I mean. I forgot. I also got the mint brush set. It's called the Mint Melt Brush Set. There is this blending brush. Then this is supposed to be an eyeshadow brush. And I guess you could lay your shimmers on with it, or you could do shading underneath. I'll probably do my shading underneath with this one. And then you also have this eye contour brush, which would be good for getting like precisely in the crease and everything. What I might end up doing, and I have seen a couple reviews where people said it worked best that way, I might take the eye contour shade and like pack the color on into the shape I want, and then take the blending brush and like just lightly blend out the edges of it and see how that works for me. But anyways, enough talk. So first I'm going to go in with this Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I'm just going to take some on the back of my hand. I just did 2 pumps because usually when you get your first pump out, it's not a full pump. So I did just 2 pumps on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, it definitely has a cooling feeling to it. And you can definitely tell it's gonna be sticky. Can you see that? Sticky. So this is definitely gonna be more like the, I should have showed you what it looked like. This is gonna be more like the Milk Makeup Grip. It's very sticky. So it's gonna be more like the Milk Makeup Grip Primer. It was even the green color that the Milk Makeup one is. So maybe I was trying to be a little sneaky there with that, but that's okay. Next we're gonna go with this tinted moisturizer. Let's see how much coverage we get out of this. I'm just gonna squirt some on the back of my hand. That should be enough. It seems pretty liquidy. Here's what it looks like. It's a thicker formula, but not too thick. Dot it all over my face. I like to stick it mainly in the parts where I'm the reddest, which is like on my cheeks. So I usually stick it more towards the center of my face, and then I'll blend it. Then I'll blend it outwards from there. I have heard good things about this, so I'm really excited to try it. And I'm just going to use my Junoko microfiber sponge. I don't know if y'all have ever used one, but it soaks up less product. And this actually is like my favorite type of sponge. I really want to try the Shop Miss A velvet sponge like this. I'm going to get it sometime so I can try it. That way I don't have to spend as much on these. But let's just blend this out and see how much coverage we can get from this tinted moisturizer. Sure, it won't be too much. This one did not have a smell like the I forgot to mention that. Let me take another whiff at it. It smelled just like a fresh foundation. I don't know. It has like a light, like fresh, perfumey, like a light fresh scent to it, but it's not like their Photo Focus foundation. If you remember, everybody talked about that one having that awful paint smell. This one does not have that. Wow, this looks really good. Okay. And my skin is like dry right now. It's so dry and flaky that I end up opening up my First Day Beauty Ultra Repair Cream that I got during the Black Friday sale, I think it was. I end up opening this up and putting it on my face today for moisturizer because my skin has been dry to the point where it's even flaking. Like on my forehead up in here, it was like flaking, and some on my cheeks and stuff. So I'm really surprised at how good this looks on my face right now. And it is definitely like a light coverage. I won't call it medium coverage, but it is a light coverage because I have some blemishes down here that it didn't even cover up. So it's a light coverage, but I like it. It's the type of coverage I like. I don't like a super heavy coverage, so I'm very happy with that. So let's go in with the concealer, the Incognito concealer. So far, Wet n Wild's hitting it out of the park. I did see that Wet n Wild had some new eyeshadow palettes. When I went to get them in stores, the spots were empty there where the eyeshadow palettes were. So I wasn't able to try them this time. Hopefully next time I'll be able to give them a try. My hands are so moisturized. I can't even open this up. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I got it. Let's give this concealer a try. It has like a little flat doe foot. Interesting. Oh. It's a very flexible. If y'all can see, it's like a very flexible doe foot. I don't know if how well you could see that, but it's very flexible. I'm gonna let it sit on my pimples while I blend out here. I'm curious to see how full coverage this is. It really brightened it up. I don't think it's like full coverage. It's more like a medium coverage, which I'm not mad about. I like medium coverage. You can probably build it up, make it more full coverage if you like. But wow, my under eyes look so good. We'll see how this does, but so far it's almost rivaling my hydrating camo concealer, which is my holy grail. So I'm just gonna do light tapping over that area. Probably should have used a different concealer, one that wasn't so highlighting. I didn't think about that. I'm amazed so far with that. Just gonna go in and set my eyes with my little e.l.f. under eye setting powder. It's just a white powder. You guys have been here for a while, you know this is what I always use to set my under eyes. And I'm gonna go and set my whole face with this I am gonna go set my whole face with this e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder, and I have it in the shade light pink. Here is my face all set up close. I think it's looking too bad. I think it looks pretty good. It's not looking dry or cakey on my skin. Looks good. I'm surprised. Okay, let me go ahead and do my eye primer. Just gonna use my usual e.l.f. putty eye primer, the white shade, because we're using more pastel colors today, so white is what we're gonna use. I wanted to have the best chance, especially if that mint shade showing up. I am gonna just use both palettes on the eyes today. I'm not gonna do one and one the other. I'm gonna try to combine both of them into one eye look. Okay, so open these up. These do not have shade names, so I will just point to the shade I'm gonna use, and then I'll let you know. I'm gonna start with the mint melt palette first, and I'll go in with this is the just a blending brush from the mint melt collection. I'm gonna go into this pastel green that everybody is saying literally doesn't show up. Let's see. This brush is feeling more stiff than the other brushes, and a little bit scratchy on my eye. And I love e.l.f. brushes. They don't normally have no issues with e.l.f. brushes, but as you can see, that shade does barely show up, but it shows up better if you do a white eye primer. It's gonna show up better. So next I want to go into this light brown shade here, and I'm gonna stick that in my crease too, but down further from the green, because I still want the little peak of mint green to be there. So I'm gonna stick it like right here. Okay. So far this shade is looking fine. This shade looks fine. It's not like I don't notice it being patchy or not wanting to blend. I do, however, I'm not a big fan of this blending brush, so I'm almost not recommending you get this. I don't know if I recommend these brushes for you to get, but I'll let you know at the end what I think. Okay. I'm gonna clean this off now, just to get the pigment off of it, any pigment that might be left on it. I'm gonna go into this one, which is the shading eye contour brush, and I'm gonna go into this deep brown and see how it works. It's like a deep chocolate brown. I'm just gonna place it down and then try to blend. Placed it down. I'm just gonna go in with my bigger blending brush and I'm just blending out the edges. This is looking a little patchy. This dark brown is blending out, but I'm not surprised. Everybody talked about how this dark brown was like patchy, and I'm noticing that they're not blending as good as the previous Bite Size eyeshadow palettes. So I don't know if they just had to use a different formula with this or what it was. Just going back into the green shade, taking it up over my crease. Not really to do a little more blending, just to like emphasize the mint green that I stuck there. I think I'm gonna go in now with my glitter glue, with just my NYX glitter glue and my Tarte Mermaid brush. Y'all know I like this brush the best. Y'all know I like my Tarte Mermaid brush the best to apply shimmers. I think I'm gonna do like an ombre effect. And do like this deeper green out here, and then on the like innermost corner I'm gonna do this lighter green, and then there's this really light green right here. It's like a whitish green. That's gonna be my inner corners. I'm gonna go in with this green right here first. That did not pick up too well. Try again. Wow. Let me try this out without the glitter glue. I'm having a hard time getting that shade to pick up. Let me try my finger. I usually don't have this problem with e.l.f. shadows, but it feels pretty hard pressed, honestly. This is a really hard pressed shade. Finally got some on my finger. I'm just gonna stick it right here. Gonna see if I can get the other ones to work without my finger. But I never have that issue with my... I never have this issue with my other e.l.f. shadows. So let's try this one. This one really picked up. But that one just seems really hard pressed for some reason. I had to really dig my finger in it. There's what it's looking like so far. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go do the other eye. A little bit of glitter glue. I'm just gonna go on my finger again for this shade right here because it is super hard pressed. I was not getting nothing with my brush, and I have to really dig in to get any with my finger. It's crazy. The brush with the rest of the shades because they at least pick up with my brush. Okay. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's more soft. This one's more softer pressed, so it's much better than the other. There's what it's looking like so far. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this little brush. I'm not gonna stick any extra product on it. It probably still has product on it, to be honest. I'm just gonna go over the edge on both eyes, just to blend. I'm gonna go in with this one, and I'm gonna take this green shade here and put it underneath my eye. That seems pretty pigmented. Just went in with that brush. Curious how it's gonna lay with this one. I'm gonna clean off the brown that's on it. I'm gonna go in a little bit with this one. I'm gonna take it with this one. Back to the blending brush. Just making sure it's clean. I'm just gonna take under my eye. There we have that. Okay. Just gonna use my usual, well, I could probably use the shade that, I'll do that. I was just gonna use my usual pencil brush, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one. And off, I'm going to use the eye contour brush and go into the lightest shade here, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. See how this is. Hopefully this isn't as hard to press as the other shade is in here. It's definitely not as hard to press, as you can see. I like that. Looks really pretty. I do have one shade that I haven't used. I guess I'll use my pencil brush. It's like this golden shade right here. I'm going to use it to like highlight my brow bone, because I haven't used it yet. I'll use a little bit of it. That one's very pretty too. So here's what my look is looking like so far. Definitely think this is not a beginner eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do my mascara, my bronzer, my blush, and my highlight, because I don't have anything new for those areas. But I am gonna use e.l.f. products. Like my mascara, I'm gonna use the new e.l.f. mascara that just came out not long ago. And I'm gonna use their primer infused blush that I have. This one is in Always Cheeky. And then I'm going to use a primer infused bronzer, which is in Forever Sunkissed. I do not have a highlight from e.l.f. So I'll use a highlight from somebody else. I don't know what yet. Maybe ColourPop. I love ColourPop's highlights, and they're super affordable. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to put all that on, and I'll be back to show you the lip product and my completed full face. Okay guys, I am back. I got my mascara on, bronzer, blush, highlight. I even stuck a pencil in my waterline. It's like a coppery brown shade. I thought I had like a mint shade. I thought I had like a mint shade, but I could not find it, so I didn't have no mint line, but so I went with like a browner one. And anyways, that might be too much mint if I use it, but if you look, the brown, especially on this eye, gone. That dark brown's completely gone. We don't know her anymore. But let's get into this gloss, this lip pumping gloss. Let's see if it's one of those ones that sting you or not. It's just going to be a clear gloss. I know it ain't going to show no mint on my lips, especially since I have pretty pigmented lips. It's got that flat doe foot, which I'm not really a big fan of that with glosses. And so it's just a clear gloss, as you can see. It has a slight tingle, nothing serious. It tastes kind of like you ate an Andes mint. It kind of tastes like an Andes mint too, honestly. So this is my completed full face of makeup. What do y'all think? I think the dark brown shade completely faded. I have to say, this is probably my least favorite e.l.f. collection that they've done yet so far. I'm not a big fan of these, and I cannot recommend anybody go out and buy these. If you really, really, really want to try it, do not get the mint chocolate one. Get this mint to be eyeshadow palette. But this one shade in here is really hard pressed. So you really have to use your finger to apply it, and you really have to dig in, because it was super hard pressed for me. I don't know why. But the other shades in here worked completely fine. And as for this one, and I'm sad that this one, the dark brown shade, doesn't work very good. I mean, it looks okay, but it's very patchy, and on this side, it's like completely gone, at least almost completely gone. This medium shade did work good, and both of these shimmers were really good shimmer shades. They're not hard pressed like this one in this palette. They're like the normal e.l.f. shimmers, so they're like a softer press, so they're easy to pick up and get on your eye, and it looks really pretty. I love the mint shades in here, but I have to honestly say, if you want a mint palette, I would recommend the ColourPop's Mint to Be over this. And if you want to make it like chocolate mint, you can always dig in to some of the browns. I'm sure you already have the browns like this in your collection. You can always dig into those and put those in your crease in your outer corner and just use a mint shade from the ColourPop Mint to Be palette. It works better than these two do. And yeah, I'm just so surprised because the last ones were $3 a piece. These were $4. They upped the price $1, and the quality just isn't on par with the ones that were $3. So I don't know if they changed the formula and that's why it's $1 more, or if they just upped the price because the other ones sold so good. But I cannot recommend these. The shimmer shades, gorgeous. The mattes, they're okay. They're not as good as the original bite size, so I can't recommend these for you. I'm sorry. They were not what I was expecting, even though it created a gorgeous look. Now for the brushes. If you have eyeshadow brushes, you don't need them. If you want affordable brushes, I wouldn't recommend getting these brushes for eye brushes. The regular e.l.f. brushes are just fine. The only ones I have though are like the e.l.f. J Kissa ones, and they work good for me. BH Cosmetics has good affordable brushes, and they're really cute. So I would recommend the BH ones over these two. But these are just, I wouldn't recommend these. They're a little, this blending brush was a little stiff, and it's a little bit scratchy. And they're just not my favorite brushes. I have brushes I love more rougher brushes, for instance. Y'all know I always talk about these rougher brushes. Maybe I'm just spoiled with my natural hair brushes, but I've been loving those above all else. This, maybe get I wish I would have gotten the mint chocolate, I think the shade was, in it, because it's like a lighter brown, neutral color. I wish I would have gotten one of the colored ones. I wouldn't recommend getting this one unless you want clear gloss. If you like a clear gloss, get this. But I do have to say I hate that it's thicker. Not to the point where it's annoying or gets goopy or really sticky. It'll probably stick to your lips for a little bit, but not a lot comes off on this applicator. So you have to keep on dipping this back inside to get more to get it on your lips. So that's the only thing I hate about it. So I'm not a big fan of that. As for this, my skin looks good. I don't remember how much I paid for this. It was either $3.99 or $4.99. I really like this. I would actually compare the look of this, not the coverage, but the way it looks on your skin and how pretty it is. I would compare that to my e.l.f. one. Which, let me find it here. Here it is. This. I think it looks really pretty on the skin, just like this. It doesn't have as much coverage. So if you're liking this one and you're liking the way it's looking on people's skin and you're like, I want to try it, but I don't like full coverage or even medium coverage, I would go with this one, because this one is definitely more of a light coverage. It's not a sheer coverage. So if you're looking for a tinted moisturizer that's like a sheer coverage, this is not for you. This is going to at least give you light coverage. It's in between light and medium. But, I mean, it covered up my redness. So it's going to cover up your redness. And you've seen I had a lot of redness on my face. But it's not as full coverage as this. But the finish of it is just like the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. It's the same type of finish. Very natural, almost dewy, glowy finish. Which I really like because I have dry skin. So I don't know how people with oily skin will feel. But I really enjoyed this. I'm glad I picked this up, and I would definitely recommend you go try it if you find it in your store, because I really liked it. I like this better than the Photo Focus foundation, which I'm trying to get through mine that I have here. I have, like, as you can see, I'm like halfway done it. But I've been hating it. I don't remember it being so matte, and it's very matte on my skin. Maybe it's just because it's in the wintertime and my skin's super dry. Maybe I'll switch it out and do another foundation, but I've been trying to use that one up. But I definitely recommend that tinted hydrator. This concealer is really good too. This Wet n Wild and Mega Last Incognito concealer. I don't think it's called full coverage. I don't know if it's full coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would say it's like medium coverage for me. But I really liked it. It looks pretty on my skin. it compares to my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. So that's saying a lot because I haven't liked any Wet n Wild concealer until this one. So out of everything I got today, I would only recommend the 2 Wet n Wild products to get. And now this is making me want to go find the 5-pan palette and the 4-pan palette. Or no, the 5-pan palette and the 10-pan palette to try one of each to see how they are. And maybe I will now that I've tried these. And these were such a big hit for me. But these are definitely the winners, I have to say. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up down below. And if you are not yet subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to me. My schedule has been a little off. I usually do 3 days a week, but I used to send my son to daycare, and I've decided to just keep him home with me with, you know, how crazy the world is right now. We have a pandemic and all that we're going through. So I have just decided to keep him home with me. So this has only happened for like the past couple weeks. So my schedule's been a little bit off. I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to film with having my son all the time because he doesn't fully take naps anymore. He kind of just has the rest time. So it's kind of like me trying to film while he's taking his rest time. And it's not like I can really film when my husband gets home because sometimes he gets home extremely late, like 8 o'clock at night. And I think it's just too late and I just want to spend time with my husband then. So I'm trying to just film a couple videos when my son is having his little rest time in his room in his bed. And I'll just leave my door open so I can hear if he's getting into anything. But anyways, this is my video today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys will come back and see more of my videos. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.